उसके लिए मैंने ये गवर्नमेंट को एक पूछा है कि इसके ऊपर भी सोच विचार किया कीजिए कि 18 साल के बाद ये जो व्यक्ति स्वतंत्र है उसके ऊपर भी निर्बंध लगना चाहिए।
Ridiculous and deplorable. First thing is that the marriages are registered. Now jihad is a different part. I mean, there, if something is going on wrong, one must intervene. That's a different part of it. Inter-caste marriages, religion marriages are being done in this country. Many of the leaders are married to inter-religion marriages are there. These are registered.
In the recent past, we've had multiple BJP states pass the anti-conversion law, a mechanism to combat forced religious conversions. Will Maharashtra be the next state to do so? Well, a few days ago, the Deputy Chief Minister of the state said the matter is on the table and that they are studying laws in other states. A recent development from the state of Maharashtra would suggest that the state government has taken the first step perhaps in that very direction. The Maharashtra government has set up a panel named the Inter-caste and Interfaith Marriage Family Coordination Committee. Now, this comes just a few days after Shraddha Walkar's father met with State Deputy Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis. Now, if you recollect, after news of Shraddha Walkar's gruesome murder by her live-in partner came to the fore, there was clamour for a stringent nationwide law to tackle the menace. So here's what the Maharashtra government has done with its new plan. They have formed a 13-member committee to ensure that they look into complaints of anyone who is allegedly trapped perhaps in an inter-caste or interfaith marriage. The objective is to monitor district-level welfare initiatives as well. The objection though, and why it's a controversial subject, is that those opposing it are now saying that there is absolutely no provision for live-in relationships in this particular matter. And for marriages, there's already a law. By this move, the Maharashtra government aims to track inter-caste and interfaith marriages. So there will be a registry, so to say, with this particular panel or at the district level officers who will be looking into it. The objective is that there is a platform, a digital one at that, to avail counseling or any other issues that crop up, any aid that is required to any of these women. The objection, though, is that government cannot spy on who marries whom. Because when you ask someone to register themselves or track who they're married to, when and what caste and religion they belong to, it's no less than surveillance. The objective, the Maharashtra government says, that by tracking registered and unregistered marriages, they will be able to help women who perhaps are estranged from their families because they chose to marry outside their faith. The objection to that is they're consulting adults. If consenting adults are in a relationship, then what's wrong with that? So there are objections, there are many. Some are political, some are legal. Whether this particular committee that has now been formed, whether that moves in a direction of having another law like we've had in many other BJP states, that is something that only time will tell. But Maharashtra government has not taken that off the table. So the question that we ask here on The Right Stand is this about legal protection or is this pure politics? That's the debate, and I'm opening this up to my panelists to join us here. Spokesperson of the BJP, Rajiv Pandey, is with me. Spokesperson of the NCP, Dr. Seema Malik, as well. And Senior Advocate of the Supreme Court, Mrinalini Deshmukh, also joins us on this broadcast. And Seema Malik, I'd like to begin with you. As far as the objections to this particular committee that has been formed is concerned, the government says that this is just to ensure that if there are issues, if there are disputes that arise, then there is a mechanism in place. Is that so bad?
See, ma'am, first of all, I would like to clear you that we are the party. We don't believe in the, dividing people on the communal this thing, And you see about the Shraddha's case we are talking about. First of all, I'll give my heartfelt condolences to the family. Everyone was shocked by this heinous crime, and we really want that the accused should get the maximum punishment by the judiciary. So this I'm making very clear, and we also want that these types of crimes should not be repeated. But if we look into this crime, for me, it is a crime against women. It is something about domestic violence. This is something about gender sensitivity, and this is something about a psychopath who is committed the crime. So giving it some this kind of color, so is not a very good thing. What we believe is, we believe in maintaining the communal and the social fabric of the Maharashtra, the secular fabric of the Maharashtra, and we have seen, these kinds of crime can happen with anybody, whether it is an inter-caste marriage or interfaith marriage, or you are married to, this has happened with the people who are married in their own caste also. So, this is I don't believe in we don't believe in the politics of polarization. We don't believe in dividing people on the communal.
So you think that this move is just an aim at polarization? Is that what you're trying to say? That by forming this committee, that's what the Maharashtra government aims to do?
I'm not going to comment like this. See, we are not here to, condemn them or blame them unnecessarily, and we don't blindly we don't support also something like this. So, this needs a discussion and consensus. And I'm very, this is very unfortunate that this government, they don't believe in consensus and the discussions. So,
Rajiv Pandey, so you should have taken broader consensus about this move, about forming this committee. Also because a minister is at the helm of affairs as far as the committee is concerned. So it's not a neutral person that you have at the helm of affairs. It is a BJP leader, a sitting minister there.
What is wrong in that, Poonamji? Poonamji, the whole issue started like this. November 2020, Shraddha Walkar filed a case. And that case was hushed up because of the no FIR was registered. There was a government of MBA, Shiv Sena, Congress, NCP were in power. So actually they are responsible for this murder. They allowed this murder to take place. If FIR would have been arrested because he tried to strangulate Shraddha Walkar. So now what is happening? We are trying to create a coordination committee which will just look into the matter, and if we find that any woman is required to get help, we will be there. So you understand, it is not going to act like a police. You understand? If suppose what is happening in inter-caste marriage or inter-religion marriage, sometimes girls goes out of and there is no connect with the family members, and at that time the monster like Aaftab takes benefit of this situation because he was knowing fully well now Shraddha has left her family. She cannot go back and she cannot rely upon the parents. So she was being tortured, beaten, and later on killed. So just see the object of this the whole coordination committee. Coordination committee job is, if there is a problem, that family members and the girl is not in touch. Then only, if suppose anybody wants to marry intercaste,
but that is only about marriages, isn't it? And you keep talking about Shraddha Walkar, that wasn't even a marriage, that was live-in relationship. So don't you think you need to broaden the horizon if that's the intent?
Just, I'll tell you, the issue is now live-in relation is by the Supreme Court of India also. There is some kind of sanctity kind of thing. So that will be taken care. Let this coordination committee start working. As far as the love jihad is concerned, that will be stopped if tomorrow, because our Honorable Deputy CM has already stated that we are discussing, we are checking the legality. At that time, the things will be discussed in the Vidhan Sabha. So right now there is no law is being made. Right,
so you will build a consensus. Right now it's just in preliminary stages.
Of course it has to go before the Vidhan Sabha, and after due consideration, due consultation, discussion, because one thing...
But are you just testing the waters to bring in an anti-conversion law like other BJP ruled states have? Because Devendra Fadnavis just a couple of days ago said that, sure, we'll think about it. We are studying what the other governments have done. So is this just a precursor for that?
Poonamji, that I cannot say, but Poonamji, one thing I am saying, I can give you the list of 200 Hindu girls who went out of the family, and the person who did wrong with those girls. You understand? We have to save. And I am telling you, this is not about only the inter-religion. It is about the inter-caste also. Sometimes, we are trying to help. Just one line. We are trying to help to save the society. These people who are opposing this, let this coordination committee work. And if anything goes wrong, this can be scrapped.
Sure.
What I'm saying, this is to protect the society, to protect
Sure.
the systems.
Sure,
to
but
protect the
Mrinalini
families. Because in the
Deshmukh, there are
country,
certain
many
questions
people
that are
married
being
in
raised
families.
as to the process of how this is going to happen. Some are suggesting, Mrinalini Deshmukh, that this could turn in the state into a surveillance state. You can't be asking inter-caste, interfaith couples to go on registering and telling the state who you're married to and why and which religion who belongs to. They're consenting adults.
Absolutely. I mean, today the state is trying to enter the homes and the bedrooms of people under the garb of giving safety and security to women. There are enough provisions in law even for live-in relationships, as a very pertinent point that you brought about, within the ambit of law. The 2006 Protection of Women Against Domestic Violence also includes those women who are not wife in the legal sense of the word, but who are into a domestic relationship in a shared household. So that kind of a woman has all the protection that is required in the event of any kind of violence, which is physical, mental, emotional, etc. Now, coming to this particular panel which is there, I think this is absolutely something which I condemn. And why do I condemn as a woman and as an activist who feels for the women and who wants safety for the women? Is today the state is trying to control every breath that we are taking. You are entering the homes, you are trying to see who is happy, who is not happy. I'm asking you a very important question. Today you are doing this because the parents have disassociated themselves with those girls who have got married intercaste or interfaith. Why not counsel these parents that if consenting adults have got into a relationship and unfortunately the relationship has soured, why is it that they are not accepting their child back home? I mean, isn't that the most important question that they should ask? And isn't that the most important thing counseling should be done to such kind of parents? Or are you going to fuel this kind of enmity between having intercaste and interfaith marriages? When the Constitution of India grants us right to religion, when there is an enactment which is the Special Marriage Act 1954, which is just after the Constitution was drafted, which talks about two people belonging to any two religion, whether Hindu, Muslim, Parsi, Sikh, whatever they are, they can get legally married under the law, and the law gives them the same protection without converting or without changing their religion.
Right.
So there are a lot of laws in place. There are a lot of provisions which are there in place. I think this is a very sneaky way of doing it. And I say that with a lot of responsibility, that safety, security, protection of any woman, whether it is in rape, whether it is in a live-in relationship, whether it is in marriage, is the uppermost concern of every individual and surely the government which is concerned. But you cannot find ways and means of sneaking in and trying to control the girls or the boys who are getting married. Yes, what happened in Shraddha Walkar was absolutely atrocious, was horrible, terrible, and it should not have happened to anybody.
Sure.
But taking that example, because at a particular point of time, as Mr. Pandey, my learned brother at the bar, says that the police did not take action on it, and that is why it led to what it had happened, is probably an inaction of that particular police at that point of time. I agree that should have been acted promptly and done it. Today you have crime against women. There is a special cell in Delhi, as you know, Mr. Pandey, you are well aware of. There are National Commission for Women, there are Maharashtra State Commission for Women.
But Mrinalini Deshmukh, the BJP and the state said that this is just in the realm of a committee right now. We're perhaps just testing waters. There is no law. So legally speaking, would there be any hurdles, legally speaking, to such kind of panel, to a committee like this?
See, ultimately, what is the formation of the committee and what is the aim and purpose, and as they call it in our law that we have, the aims and objectives of this particular thing. So obviously it has to be more in a structured manner, which at least I don't have access to it to be able to tell you what it is. The intent is to protect the women, which I think it's a great intent, and that must be done. So I'm not even questioning that for a bit. But how it should be done and in what way can the women be protected? The way they are trying to do it, in my understanding, in the limited understanding, because I don't have the thing before me, would be absolutely flawed. And I would say, do not get into this surveillance with the intercaste marriage.
Sure. So Rajiv Pandey, that's the question that many people are raising. That your heart might be in the right place as you claim, but the way you're doing it, that's certainly not right, and which is why doubts are being cast.
one question which Deshmukh Madam, who is senior in the bar, has raised, that is very important. That why not these girls should be accepted by the family? So, ma'am, we are going to try that. That here, this is the break in the family.
Yes.
If we are not opposing inter-caste or inter-religion marriage, understand, if suppose parents are not talking, or if there is a bad marriage or bad relationship at that time, this committee will help that girl and the family members to
Sure, so
establish
it's just a
contact,
precautionary measure.
to
It's not
establish-
propaganda like the opposition
So-
is trying to pin this as, and that's really where this stands. Whether once this panel is formed, this controversy snowballs further, we'll of course keep an eye out on that. But I thank all my panelists for joining us here on this broadcast. With that, it's a wrap from me. Zaka Jacob joins you next.